中国青年是与新时代同向同行、共同前进的一代。生逢盛世，肩负重任。
亲爱的同学们，2021年清华大学研究生毕业典礼即将开始。
Fellow students, the commencement ceremony for graduate students in 2021 for Tsinghua University will commence soon. Please put on your masks and get ready for the ceremony.
因为接下来我们将共同见证告别清华，告别青春。
Today is the moment we will be witnessing this moment of departing Tsinghua together and begin with our journey of life. We have experienced years of happy and serene times of learning here on this campus, and our tutors and our mentors and lecturers and professors will be here to send us off. A round of the warmest applause for our leaders and professors to come up to the stage. We'll have the representatives of the mentors of the outstanding graduates. Mentors of winners of national scholarships and exceptional scholarships. The award winners of the Great Mentorship. Representatives of the supporting and administrative faculty members. A round of warm applause for these people who have supported us throughout the journey of our times in Tsinghua. Now let us welcome the university leadership and the specially invited guests to come onto the stage.
下面请
Let us now invite Vice President Provost of Tsinghua University, Professor Yang Bin, to come to the podium to moderate today's commencement ceremony. Esteemed fellow faculty members, beloved students, good morning to you all. The commencement ceremony for 2021 cohort of graduate students here in Tsinghua will begin now. Please all rise, face the national flag, raise the national flag and sing the national anthem. Please be seated. First of all, allow me to introduce you to the leadership of the university who have come to attend today's commencement ceremony. President, Chairman of the Academic Degree Evaluation Committee, Academician Professor Qiu Yong. Professor Chen Xu, Party Secretary of Tsinghua University. President and Dean of CAMS PUMC, Academician Professor Wang Chen. Executive Deputy Party Secretary Professor Jiang Shengyao. Executive Vice President Professor Wang Xiqin. Vice President Research Fellow Professor Ji Junmin. Deputy Party Secretary Professor Li Yibing. Vice President Academician You Zheng. Vice President Professor Zheng Li. Deputy Party Secretary and Research Fellow Xiang Guotao. Vice President Professor Peng Gang. Vice President Professor Zeng Rong. Also attending today's commencement ceremony is Vice Chairman of the Academic Degree Evaluation Committee, Academician He Kebing, Vice Provost, Dean of the Graduate School, Vice Chairman of the Academic Degree Evaluation Committee, Professor Zhou Jie, Director of Graduate Student Affairs of the Party Committee, Zhao Cen, Deputy Research Fellow, and we also have graduates and leaderships from schools and faculties, including Professor Zhang Yue and graduates of the School of Architecture. Party Secretary Professor Fu Xudong and graduates of the School of Civil Engineering. Dean Professor Liu Yi and graduates of the School of Environment. Research Fellow Lu Zhigang, Party Secretary and graduate of School of Mechanical Engineering. Professor Ouyang Zheng, Dean and graduates of Department of Precision Instruments. Professor Jiang Peixue, Dean and his graduates from the Department of Energy and Power Engineering. Professor Li Jianqiu, Dean and his graduates from the School of Vehicle and Mobility. Party Secretary Professor Li Zhizhong and his graduates from Department of Industrial Engineering. Party Secretary Professor Yu Xinjie and graduates of the Department of Electrical Engineering. Party Secretary Professor Jin Depeng and graduates from Department of Electronic Engineering. Party Secretary Professor Liu Yiqun and graduates from the Department of Computer Science and Technology. Associate Professor Duan Ran and graduates from the Institute of Interdisciplinary Information Sciences and the graduates of Yao class. Professor Zhang Tao, Dean and his graduate from Department of Automation. Professor Wu Huaqiang, Dean and graduate from the School of Integrated Circuits. Professor Li Luming, Dean and graduates from the School of Aerospace Engineering. Professor Wang Jianming, Dean and graduate from School of Software. Research Fellow, Party Secretary Zhang Xiaoping, and graduates from Institute for Network Sciences and Cyberspaces. Professor Wang Xuewu, Dean and graduate from the Department of Engineering Physics. Professor Wang Tiefeng, Dean and his graduate from Department of Chemical Engineering. Party Secretary Professor Yang Zhigang and his graduates from School of Material Science and Engineering. Party Secretary Professor Ye Jun and graduates from the Department of Mathematical Sciences. Party Secretary Professor Xiao Zhigang and graduates of Department of Physics. Professor Yang Chunglin, Party Secretary, and her graduates from Department of Chemistry. Party Secretary Professor Wu Wei and graduates from School of Life Sciences. Professor Qi Hai, Dean and graduate of the Medical School. Professor Ding Sheng, Dean and graduate of the School of Pharmaceutical Sciences. Professor Luo Yong, the Dean and his graduate from the Department of Earth System Sciences. Professor Chen Yubo, Party Secretary, and his graduates from SEM Tsinghua. Professor Peng Zongchao, Party Secretary, and his graduate from the School of Public Policy and Management. Professor Liao Li, Executive Vice Dean and graduates from the PBC School of Finance. Professor Wan Junren, Dean and graduate from School of Humanities. Professor Wu Xia, Dean of Department of Foreign Languages. Dean Professor Peng Kaiping and graduate from School of Social Sciences. Associate Professor Deng Haifeng, Party Secretary and graduates from the Law School. Professor Hu Yu, Party Secretary and graduate of School of Journalism. Professor Ma Sai, Party Secretary and graduate of the Academy of Fine Arts. Professor Ai Silin, Dean and graduate of the School of Marxism. Professor Zhang Zuoyi, Dean and graduate from the School of Nuclear and New Energy. Professor Xu Zhongying, Dean and graduate of the Institute of Education. Professor Xue Lan and graduates of the Schwarzman College. And we have graduates from the Institute of Advanced Studies, International Graduate School in Shenzhen, as well as School of Global Innovation. We also have graduates who have been jointly educated by our university and the PUMC. The guest speakers for today's ceremony are alumna Dr. Wu Beili, PI and Research Fellow of the Shanghai Institute of Materia Medica of China Academy of Sciences. A very warm welcome and heartfelt thanks to all of you for attending our ceremony. We have also invited tutor representatives of outstanding graduates, national scholarship winners, special scholarship winners, academic rookie mentors and mentor and friend winners, academic administrators, and supporting staff representatives to be seated on the stage. Thank you for your hard work over the past many years to support our students. A round of warm applause to welcome your attendance too. The ceremony will be on live stream globally using Chinese and English, and if you're not able to come to the ceremony yourself, you're welcome to participate in the ceremony online. Welcome. Today we also have some of the graduates who have graduated last year. However, they were not able to come to a commencement ceremony because of the pandemic. Very warm welcome to you all. This year, in an effort to add to the solemnity and the sense of ceremony of the commencement, the university decided to hold the ceremony outdoors, and considering the weather conditions, the longer conferment ceremony will be held in the gymnasium complex after the ceremony. Now I would like to report to you the award situation of graduate student graduation, as well as master's and PhD degree awarding. approved by the 33rd meeting of the Tsinghua University Council in the 2019-2020 academic year, and the 4th, 13th, 19th, and 25th meeting of the Tsinghua University Council in the 2020-2021 academic year. The total number of graduate students have reached 8,116, including 2,981 doctoral students and 5,135 master students. The total number of graduate students is 259, including 46 doctoral students and 213 master students. Among the above graduate students, there are 822 PhDs, 575 master graduates, and 1 master course completion student from PUMC and TUMS. The Academic Degree Evaluation Committee of Tsinghua University has decided to award doctorate degrees to 3,168 graduates at its 5th plenary meetings on August 13th, October 15th, January 7th, April 14th, and June 24th, 2021. Master's degrees were awarded to 5,650 graduates.
Let's give a warm applause to these graduates. Next, I'd like to invite Professor Chen Xu, Secretary of the Party Committee of the University, to read the decision on commending the 2021 excellent doctoral graduates and excellent master graduates of Tsinghua University. Please, over to you, Professor Chen. About the Tsinghua University Excellent PhD and Master Graduates Selection Method. According to the relevant requirements of the Tsinghua University Excellent PhD and Master Graduates Selection Method, after discussion and approval at the 24th school meeting of the 2020 to 2021 academic year, it was decided to grant Cao Yue 87 students, including Cao Yue from the School of Architecture, the title of the Outstanding Doctoral Graduate of Tsinghua University, and 78 graduates of the School of Architecture, including Gui Chengxi of the School of Architecture as Outstanding Graduate of Tsinghua University. First, excellent PhD graduates, 87. From School of Architecture, Cao Yuan Chen Chen. From Civil Engineering Department, Wang Mengzheng, Li Zaishang. From Water Conservancy Department, Zhu Tong, Duan Yanchong. From School of Environment, Xiong Shangchao, Liang Xingyu, Xu Zibing. From Departments of Mechanics, Kong Yun, Hang Yaxing, Meng Qizhi. From Fine Instruments, Wu Yujie, Zhang Wenhui. From Engineering and Power Engineering, Energy and Power Engineering Department, Li Tianxiao, Jiang Hechuan. From Department of Vehicle and Mobility, Pan Zhexing. From the School of Industrial Engineering, Hou Chengfan. From Electrical Engineering, Liu Jiapeng, Jia Meng Shuo. From Electronic Engineering School, Yue Jingshan, Chen Jiaxuan, Li Gen, Zeng Liang. From Computer Science Department, Zhou Yu, Zhou Hao, Zhang Ziwei. From Department of Automation, Zhou Yinghong, Guo Shangqi, Liu Qiao. From the School of Integrated Circuit, Zhang Wenqiang. From the School of Aerospace Engineering, Zhang Shuai, Fang Wei, Chen Bing, Lin Jing. From the Department of Engineering Physics, Zhang Chao, Chen Jian, Jiang Yunshen. From the Department of Chemical Engineering, Zhang Xueqiang. From the School of Material Science and Engineering, Liu Yuemin, Zhao Peirao, Ma Yue. From the Department of Mathematical Science, Zheng Bingyi. From the Department of Physics, Liao Menghan, Tang Ruling, Li Jiaheng. From the Department of Chemistry, Zhang Jingjing, Zhang Mingchao, Shi Tanhao, Zhang Chen. From the School of Life Science, Wang Nan, Jiao Haifeng, Liu Lei, Lü Li, Wang Yao, Xing Xudong, Ding Wenzhe, Li Tianqi. From the Department of Earth System Science, Li Yuanlong. From the Department of the Cross Information Science, Zhang Tianyi. From the SEM, Guan Yue, Liu Shida, Qi Mingzheng. From the School of Public Policy and Management, Lin Zheng. From PBC School of Finance, Liu Bing. From Law School, Ruan Shenyu, Zhao Jinwei. From School of Journalism, Lu Honglei. From School of Marxism, Mang Mengyun. From School of Humanity, Wang Zhenghua, Cao Xuecong, Wei Bo. From School of Social Science, Wang Xiang, Zheng Weiwei, Zhang Longtian. From Academy of Fine Arts, Wen Zhongliang. From the Institute of Nuclear and New Energy, Yu Xiong, Wu Yongyong. From Institute of Education, Duang Shifei. From School of Pharmaceutical Science, Wang Hongzhang, Liu Bo, Liu Guangnan, Ning Guocheng, Ju Xiaohui. From School of Software, Chen Hui. From Tsinghua Berkeley School in Shenzhen, Guo Jun. From Advanced School, Zhang Shixing. Second, excellent master graduates, 78 altogether. From School of Architecture, Gui Chenxi, Tu Han. Water Conservancy Department, Ma Ling, Zhou Guohao. From Water Conservancy, Han Juntai. From School of Environment, Xiang Hongling, Zhang Xinyang, Wang Qiao. From Department of Mechanics, Wang Hao, Han Ying. From Department of Fine Instrument, Zhu Junwen, Zhang Wu Taihui. From Department of Engineering and Power Science, Miao Hongjing. From the School of Vehicles and Mobility, Mu Rao. From the Department of Industrial Engineering, Zi Lanfang Jingguang. From the Department of Electrical Engineering, Lin Zhe, Ju Jiahe. From Electronics Engineering Department, Ji Jun, Cao Zheng, He Kexin. From Computer Science Department, Zhong Haoqi, Takonobu Ruchi, and Li Ziran. From the Department of Automation, He Jiabao, Zhong Li, Xu Zhuoqun. From the School of Integrated Circuit, Jia Fan, Zhang Bo. From School of Aerospace Science, Gu Lingyun. From the Department of Engineering Physics, Liu Yating, Wang Chunyi. From the Department of Chemistry, Deng Nan. From the School of Material Science, Li Yuyao, Liang Junwei. From the Department of Mathematical Science, Dong Tao. From the Cross Information Science School, Liu Junling. From SEM, Zhao Qiushi, Peng Yiming, Zhuang Xuejing. Liu Cong, Li Kehang, Li Haocheng, Gan Yihe, Xie Jianan, Huang Miao, Zhang Wanyu. From School of Public Policy and Management, Yan Shuo, Wu Dan, Lai Jianxin, Liang Xi, Daniela Mendoza. From the PBC School of Finance, Zhang Fuyu, Zhu Wenpeng, Liu Hongxue. From Law School, Yao Libo, Zhai Xianhe, Han Wei, Cheng Xueqi. From School of Journalism, Cheng Suya. School of Humanity, Jia Zhaokun. The Academy of Social Science, Zhao Danyang, Cao Xuyao. Academy of Fine Arts, Yan Zetong, Yu Mengtong, Li Chunhui, Lai Xingyu. Institute of Education, Peng Bo. CAMS, PUMC, Liu Shuqing. From the School of Software, Xiang Shaoxing, Fu Bo. From the School of Network Science, Ye Fangdan. From Swartzman College, Kensuke Niwa. Wang Zixi, Huang Jiaoyi. From Tsinghua Berkeley, Shenzhen College, Wang Zifeng, Yang Fengning, Chen Junyue. Tsinghua University, 2021, June 26. Thank you, Professor Chen. Now, I'd like to invite Ai Liqiang, the graduate representative from the School of Aerospace Science. Distinguished teachers and classmates, my name is Ali Chiam from the School of Aerospace Science. So from the undergraduate all the way to the PhD, I've been spending more than 10 years in Tsinghua campus. And 9 days ago, the Long March 2F carrier rocket successfully lifted off with the Shenzhou 12 spacecraft. And after graduation, I will be working for China Launch Vehicle Research Institute. I'd like to give thanks to Tsinghua University, my mother school, for realizing my dream as a practitioner in aerospace science. So I'd like to share with you my dream as aerospace hero. The dream of aerospace science started from the very brave and courageous innovations in the science and technology. 18 years ago, taikonaut hero Yang Liwei started my dream. And during my middle school years, I tried to make water rocket. And in the high school years, before entrance examination, I applied for Tsinghua University, the Qianxuesheng class of mechanics, and also during the whole process of my academic years, I've always been engaged in the engineering thermophysics, and I've been continuously engaged with the quantum science as well as the computational physics with the new methods and with repeated trials and explorations. I actually have surpassed the normal years of PhD academic years, and I feel excited, anxious, and also very nervous. And I always question myself whether or not I can reach my dream as a researcher. And in my heart, actually, I bear in mind that I have to bear the loneliness just like the generations of the practitioners in aerospace science. 60.5 years of research in the science and technology, I have actually empowered with innovations, enthusiasm, and courage, which also nurtured my determination to cultivate my professionalism, which laid a very solid foundation for my research dream. My dream of in the aerospace science also are with open-minded. And also before the ceremony of the 110th anniversary of Tsinghua University, there is one slogan that is to do more than 100 very beautiful things in Tsinghua. And right now I have finished 98. And in my impression, I have tried the spicy hotspot and the cafeterias, and also I have saved the stray cats. At the same time, I also witnessed many couples who entered into the marriage already. And also in the campus, I have viewed a lot of flowers, and I have shed a lot of tears. And also I have been enlightened by the wisdoms and also the youth generated and also contributed by the former generations of the scientists like Zheng Jiaxian. So I also, my lover, proudly introduced that my career is actually the chosen career that I'm dedicated to. And this is a platform for the very generous development of my beautiful life in the future. And I can feel the warmth and also the enthusiasm of this profession. And the dream of aerospace science are also enlightened by the spirit of the partnership with my fellows. During the PhD academic years, I've been awarded as the duties as the guiding councils in my class. So I also spread the values and also the positions and attitudes of science and technology during the whole years, together with my classmates and partners. Also, with my classmates, we are jointly learning not only science, but also learning the history of the Chinese Communist Party, and also to tell the very good stories of the Chinese Communist Party from Tsinghua University. We gradually realized that we cannot actually observe the principles as a very diligent human beings without joining the Communist Party of China. And also, very surprisingly, all the classmates have joined the Chinese Communist Party when they graduate, and altogether 29 of them have become the party members. So, dear teachers and also my fellow classmates, President Xi used to say that space dream is a very important part of the rejuvenation of the nation of China. Right now, China's space stations have made a lot of progress. In the future, there are a lot of bottlenecks to crack down. We have to rely on the breakthroughs of these bottlenecks in terms of the carrier rocket science. And so when we are looking at the dream of the rejuvenation of the grand nation, we are at the tipping point of the century. So let's join hands together to cultivate the virtues during this process and to become more diligent in our practitioners and to write together a new chapter of the youth in the new era. Thank you all.
Thank you, Dr. Ai Liqiang. Today it is also our great pleasure to have invited an outstanding representative of our alumna, Dr. Wu Beili. She has obtained her PhD in biophysics from Tsinghua University in 2006 and then went to the Scripps Research Institute in the United States for postdoctoral research. In 2011, she returned to China and worked full-time as a researcher and PI at the Shanghai Institute of Material Medica Chinese Academy of Sciences. She mainly conducts structure and function research on the important drug target protein G protein-coupled receptor, and is also engaged in structure-based drug research and development program. She has successively won the first prize of Shanghai Natural Science Award, the China Youth Science and Technology Award, and other awards, and been supported by programs such as the National Outstanding Youth Fund and the 10,000 Talents Program, Science and Technology Innovation Leaders. The floor is yours. Esteemed professors, lecturers, beloved fellow students, I am a graduate from the biophysics major in 2001. It is my great pleasure, and I thank the alma mater for this opportunity to speak at this solemn ceremony. It is my greatest honor. It is my greatest pleasure to also come back to the campus after 15 years and to witness another cohort of Tsinghua University graduates finishing your journeys and starting your dreams of the life. And I would congratulate you not only in successfully completing your studies, but in the commencement of the next phase of your life. 20 years ago, I first stepped on to the Tsinghua campus. I spent the most beautiful and unforgettable 5 years, and I remember the days and nights of hours in the labs spending with proteins and cells, and I remember looking for good food with my classmates in the different canteens on the campus. And over those 5 years, I've listened to the learnings and expertise of our mentors, and I have solidified my resolve to work as a scientist all my life. And I have also found my life partner and gained a lot of warmth and strength from the years here in Tsinghua. Even though I have left the university for many years, but it has never stopped influencing me. In 2001, I entered the research team of academician Yao Zihe and started my research in structural biology. Through the exploration of the microstructures of protein and other large molecules, we have been trying to find out the molecular mechanisms of how life began. Academician Professor Yao had led me into the gates of science and research and had fostered my great interest in the research in this area. And I thank Tsinghua University for me to meet the great maestros in research, and the maestro showed me how grand the universe of learnings and knowledge are, and it made me realize that outside of this tiny idea of me, there is actually a much grander and vaster world. After I graduated from Tsinghua University, I went to study under Professor Raymond Stevens at Scripps Research Institute to do my postdoctoral research. At the time, we're engaged in the most frontier research in structural biology. which is the G protein coupling receptor. This is actually a very important signal transmitter in the human body and is very closely linked to many different diseases. The structural research was very, very difficult and considered the mission impossible by many people. And I have made it my resolve to achieve something in this very difficult area. And I've started the HIV/AIDS virus receptor structural research project, and I have changed and modified the different settings of the labs, and I worked 9 hours from 9 to 9 for 7 days a week. However, many of my attempts had come out to no avail. However, I was a student educated in Tsinghua, and I will not bow to the difficulties easily. I have tried a condition for the labs at the time that wasn't very optimistic, and no one thought it would be successful. But I actually saw the protein crystal under my microscope in a beautiful evening. At that time, everything I've spent, the time and energy and the hardship, was worthwhile. And since the first day when I arrived in the United States, I had made the decision that I will come back to China after I've finished my studies to contribute my research to the foundational research of protein in China. So in 2011, I came back to the Shanghai Institute of Material Medica and built my own research team. We have started from scratch and had decided to work against all the difficulties. And when we don't have enough people, we have all worked overtime to build the first ever G protein coupling receptor structural biology research platform. And this has been a great platform to look at the G protein research related to many severe diseases. A lot of our papers had been published in Nature, in Science and Cell. We have also been working very hard to translate the foundational research into application, so that we have been working on development of drugs in contagious diseases, metabolic diseases, as well as cardiovascular diseases. A lot of our drugs have now come into the pipeline for clinical research. Now we're leading in the world in terms of G protein receptor research. 20 days later, it will mark the full 10 years after I've returned to China. And I have gained a lot through the 10 years. We have to work really hard, and we have to have the patience to go through the long cycles of trial and error, and we will pay attention to all the details to make sure that we can achieve the best outcome. And we believe that this will be a principle that we as scientists will hold dear to our heart into the future and throughout our academic career. Fellow students, as the graduate student of Tsinghua University, a large part of you will go into scientific research after you leave this campus. There will be more students who work in other disciplines, but trust, whatever you do, the education and learnings you have had in Tsinghua University will have a deep impression throughout your life, and you will forever be engraved with the spirit and style of someone who has studied in Tsinghua. Fellow students, life is short and it is long. It is too short that sometimes you can't even complete one task. It is so long it seems you can do everything ahead of you. And we believe that you will take this opportunity to do something great with your life. I thank the alma mater again for the invitation, and I wish you all great luck in your future endeavors and great health to my mentors and professors here at the university. Thank you.
Next, I'd like to invite President Qiu Yong to the stage and give the speech. Distinguished fellow students, faculty members, and dear friends and dear guests. Today is a particular and memorable day. First of all, On behalf of the campus, the Tsinghua University, I'd like to extend my warm congratulations to more than 8,000 students who have obtained PhD and master degrees. I also like to express my heartfelt thanks to your parents and teachers who have worked so hard to cultivate you as talents. 2021 is a very special and very important year. On April 19th, on the eve of 110th anniversary of Tsinghua University, General Secretary Xi Jinping visited the campus and delivered a very important speech. President Xi pointed out, contemporary Chinese youngsters formulating a generation that walks in the time direction and advances together with a new era. They are born in a prosperous age and shoulder solemn responsibilities. So, fellow students, you have witnessed the strength of China moving forward courageously through wind and rains, and witnessed the new Tsinghua style in the endeavors for humanity's development. And you have also witnessed and withstood the severe test of the epidemics of COVID-19. Zavar Ivan Sefakol, a master student in Department of Engineering Science from Ghana, who could not return to school due to the pandemic. She overcome the 8-year time difference and insisted on the online classes. After the critical stage of the thesis work, she unfortunately contracted the virus, but endured the pain of the constant high fever and even loss of taste for a while. But he persisted in conducting academic research and finally successfully completed the thesis work while conquering the diseases, and her dissertation was rated as excellent master thesis for Tsinghua University. And we give congratulations and give likes to Ivan, as well as the rest of the people who are like him. So, dear fellows, you also gone through the deepening academic evaluation reform, and you no longer worry about the number of the papers published. Gui Zhenping, the doctoral student in Department of Mathematics, who did not follow the hotspots, not satisfied with the small problems or quick results, who strived to do more profound mathematics research and has achieved very innovative results in the mathematical structure of the quantum field theory. So, fellow students, you worked really hard and harvest and grow with Tsinghua. I believe that you will continue to work even harder and continue to grow in the years to come and become outstanding talents who can carry on the grand task of the time. Self-reliance makes excellent. Innovation shapes the future. The 110th anniversary celebration fully represents Tsinghua's more than 100 years of historical accumulation of experiences and the new atmosphere created by the reform and development. So, at the anniversary party, the alumni reported to their alma mater and also serving the motherland and people, demonstrating the effectiveness of Tsinghua's leadership in fostering people and value in the pursuit of Tsinghua. At the Global Forum of University Presidents, Tsinghua advocated a more open, integrated, and resilient university and promoting the formulation of Tsinghua consensus, demonstrating Tsinghua's leading awareness and international influence. In the university series of the forum, Tsinghua teachers and students reflected the meaning, values, and missions of universities in the changing world, reflecting the realm of Tsinghua University. For 110 years, Tsinghua University has always breathed and shared fate with the country and its nationals. Deeply rooted in China, the motherland grasped the trend of the times and achieved a historical leap in the construction of the world-class university with the Chinese characteristics. The general trend of the world is full of potentials. The trend reflects and refers to the trend of the certain law in the development process of things. It originates from the internal power of the things itself, develops from the favorable conditions of external environment, and accumulates small to large and weak, becoming stronger under the continuous interaction of internal and external factors, and then become the force that pushes the things towards the certain direction. So General Secretary Xi Jinping pointed out historical development has its own laws, but people are not supposed to completely passive and forced by the force. As long as we grasp the laws and general trend of the historical development, seize the opportunity of the historical change, take advantage of the trend, and work very hard, we can do better for sure. Going forward, in face of the future full of infinite opportunities and challenges, we must conform to the general trend, live up to the times, and let your youth bloom in the unremitting dedication for the motherland, the people, and the mankind. It is necessary to observe the situation and be clear-minded, cultivate one's own rationality, and integrate personal life into historical torrent. Observing the trend is to have a keen insight about the laws of the occurrence and evolution of things in complex and changeable situations, to absorb the power of thoughts and truth in the process of investigating the heavens with humans through the changes of the past and present. The truth is to adhere to it. The degree of the recognition and understanding of the situation reflects the wisdom and accomplishments of the people and also determines the direction and the pattern of life. More than 100 years ago, China's advanced elements saw the vigorous rise of the socialism from the victory of October Revolution and found Marxism in the arduous search for salvation. Comrade Mao Zedong pointed out in 1921, the Communist Party of China was established and the East was set to break new ground. The CPC has led Chinese people to fight hard, worked hard, and advanced with the times, profoundly changing the future and destiny of China, profoundly changing the trend and the pattern of the world development, and creating an immortal monument. He who does not examine the situation of the world first will find it difficult to respond to the affairs in the world fairly. Later, a firm grasp of the law of the historical development can profoundly reshape the spirit and destiny of a person, a country, and a nation. So, dear fellow students, I hope you will remember that life integrated into the mighty history will never wither, and the individuals who devote themselves to the great cause will be remembered forever. We must plot with the situation, pursue a big course, and cultivate the ambition of taking the world as our own responsibility. Comrade Li Dazhao once said, the young people should be rational, work hard, go forward, and ignore the consequences, turn to the light against the darkness, advance the civilization for the world, and create a happiness for all humankind. To plan to plot in light of the situation, to adopt the social development and progress of the times, to have the lofty and firm career in life. Youngsters must have the belief of come for a big cause and do out of the big ambitions. Do not follow the trend blindly. Do not learn from the camps. And don't be consented just for some plenty abundance. Mr. Wu Liangyong, professor of the Tsinghua University, winner of the National High Science and Technology Awards, and academician of China's Academy of Sciences, the founder of China's Human Settlement Science. When the PRC was founded, he went to the United States to study the words smashed land is waiting for reconstruction. It's in Mr. Liang Sichen's letter. which made him resolutely break through numerous obstacles and return to the motherland, return to Tsinghua University. Mr. Wu Liangyong, with his deep feelings of an enjoyment of tens of thousands of large buildings sheltering the world's dignified people, he spent his entire life seeking for the dream to realize the dream of the people so that the whole society has a good living environment in harmony with nature, so that people can live on the earth as in poetic and picturesque land. So, fellow students, I hope that you do not pursue only for yourself, but have the ambition for the benefit of the whole world, to have the big country in your heart, to love the people from all corners of life, and to realize your lofty ambitions in your sincere dedication to the motherland and the people. Take the advantage of the trend, seize the day, and reach the height of life in the practice of the deeds that speak louder than words. The opportunities of history pass away quickly and never wait for hesitators, wait and seers, or slack people. Those who hesitate and watch empty talks can only live with regrets. Being aspirational but unsuccessful, with no achievements and accomplishments, Mencius said, although there is wisdom, it is better to take advantage of the situation, riding on the momentum and the trend as the indomitable spirit of only knowing how to make progress, knowing how to fly. It is the courageous achievement of striving for the top and pursuit of the excellent, and self-drive to the continuously climbing to the peak. In 1958, Tsinghua University seized the major opportunity of the country's development of atomic energy and took the initiative to prepare for the establishment of the atomic energy scientific experiment base, known as Tsinghua 200. A group of youngsters of an average age of slightly over 23 shouted the slogan, very poetic slogan, use our hands to create the spring of the motherland atomic energy industry. In 1964, China's first self-designed and operating shield experimental reactor was built. In the 1980s, nuclear safety became a hotspot in the world. The project Tsinghua 200 and its people seized the opportunity and led the innovation. In 2000, the world's first modular high-temperature gas-cooled experimental reactor with the inherent safety guarantee was built. British philosopher Bacon once said, "The golden age is ahead of us, not behind us." So, fellow students, I hope you will grasp the present times, cherish the years of youth, and dare to make the tide of the times with firm courage, determination, and down-to-earth actions. Living as you may with great songs, fly high with the wind hitting the waves, and now start the journey. Time and trends are always on the right side of the history, and are always on the side of the vigorous and uplifting young people. I believe that you will definitely be able to understand the general trend and pursue the great things and great cause in the era of the great accomplishment, and strive for a higher, more spacious, and more exciting life. And I also believe that you will be able to take advantage of these most beautiful years of your life. Flap your wings to touch the sky and make a great journey for thousands of miles. Tsinghua University and its campus is a place where great dreams are nurtured and lives set sails. So, dear fellow students, today is the day for nostalgia. I hope you will remember that Tsinghua will always be your warm home forever. Thank you.
Thank you, Professor Qiu Yong. Please all rise and sing the school anthem.
请坐下。同学们，今天我们
Please be seated. Classmates, today we're here to hold the 2021 graduate commencement ceremony. Let us once again extend our heartfelt congratulations to the students for successfully completing your studies and embarking on your new journeys of life. Please bear in mind the principles entrustment in an era of great accomplishment. We should be aware of the general trend and pursue great things. And we're determined to pursue a more advanced, sophisticated, and more colorful life. In the most beautiful years of life, we shall take advantage of the momentum and lift the clouds of the sky. Flap your wings and brave the storm. After the ceremony, please follow the staff and move to the General Gymnasium to attend the awarding ceremony. Thank you very much.
各位同学，请所有同学暂时保持在原地，不要起身。现在我们进入毕业典礼的转场环节，我是转场环节的主持人车宗凯，请大家配合我的指令，快速地跟随现场工作人员完成转场。首先，请所有硕士毕业生在原地稍事休息，保持安静。下面我们将尽快完成博士毕业生的转场，请博士毕业生快速配合指令。首先，综体西门一批集合，请土木系、能动系、计算机系、材料学院的博士毕业生起立。请土木系、能动系、计算机系、材料学院的博士毕业生起立。请大家有序走到你们右手边的跑道，也就是操场的西侧跑道，寻找综体西门一批的指示牌，按照院系顺序分3列纵队排队集合。请土木系和能动系的博士生排在第1路纵队。材料学院博士毕业生排在第2路纵队，计算机系博士毕业生排在第3路纵队，请工作人员举牌示意集合地点。请土木系和能动系的博士毕业生排在第1路纵队，材料学院的博士毕业生排在第2路纵队，计算机系的博士毕业生排在第3路纵队，请工作人员示意集合地点。下面请综体南2门一批集合，请综体南2门一批集合，请环境学院、电子系、交叉信息院、社科学院的博士毕业生起立。 请大家按照我念的顺序，有序地走到你们左手边的跑道，也就是操场的东侧跑道。东侧跑道按照院系顺序分3列纵队排队集合，请电子系博士毕业生排在第7路纵队，环境学院、交叉信息院的博士毕业生排在第8路，社科学院的博士毕业生排在第9路，请工作人员举牌示意集合地点。请电子系博士毕业生排在第7路纵队，环境学院、交叉信息院的博士毕业生排在第8路纵队，社科学院的博士毕业生排在第9路纵队，请工作人员举牌示意集合地点。下面请综体南一门一批集合，请集成电路学院、航院、化学系、新闻学院、美术学院、声研院的博士毕业生起立，请大家按照我念的顺序，有序走到你们右手边的跑道。